Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So if you're one of those, I can't take a career break now. I can't retire this early. I can't do blah, blah, blah. I can't take a sabbatical. What would I even do with my time? If that, okay, so that was the tone. Let me check my tone. But if that's you, you're in the right place because we're going to talk about it today. All right. We're going to talk about what would you even do if you quit your job for a year? What would you even do if you took a sabbatical? What would you even do if you went ahead and retired now? All right, but first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I do as little as possible. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and the co creator of Exodus Summit. And I help Black women also do as little as possible, like take a career break, like move abroad to embrace ease, like bop around as a nomad to see the world. If these things sound good to you, please hit the subscribe button on this channel. Seriously, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And then when the little bell pops up, hit the notification bell as well so that you can be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. All right, welcome, friends. I'm house sitting, and these dogs, the dog and cat, I didn't sleep well last night at all. And I don't function well with no sleep, and I don't like it. Okay, so they were acting bad. Their mom is in the air flying home, and it seemed like they knew it. So the dog woke me up 2 or 3 times yesterday with a ball to play ball in the middle of the night, like just acting bad. And the cats were fighting. So I apologize. I've had coffee before the live stream, which I don't normally do. So I'm trying to get myself together so that we can have a good conversation for those of you who fall into that category of what would I even, I can't, I would just get bored. Okay, so my tone might be a little not nice. I My tone might be a little not nice this morning, but that's really how you sound. Okay, what would I even do? All right, we're going to talk about that today. Um, and it's less than you think, and you're going to be okay with it. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about this morning. All right, good morning, Ms. Chris. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning, Fairly Fast. Good morning, Ozzy. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Nick Jones. Good morning, Auntie Trey. And my stethoscope travels and learning to live and A Cope. Good morning, Von Powell. Good morning for esoteric spiritualists and CEOs. Hi, that's a new name. Welcome. Good morning, Krishan from Blackset Global. Hello, friend. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Kay Stewart. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Arnell. How y'all doing? Good morning, friends. Good morning, Girl Please and Jazzy. Ahazuda 2010. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Edith and Creating Me and Sashana and Yvette and Amina. How's everybody? Okay, so yes, I'm still house sitting in Palm Springs. I go from one house sit to the next over the next couple of days. Um, yeah, that's it. The dog is still being herself. If you follow me on Instagram, at Vicarious. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen the story where I was in the backyard trying to get a selfie in my swimsuit by the pool, and in the background, I record the dog running away. She just jumped over the fence. It's a little tiny brick wall. Jumped over the little brick wall and went on about her day. You may have seen that on Instagram. She does what she wants, but the good news is she follows commands. So all you have to do is give her the right command and she'll come back. So that's been that. I'm staying in this house for a couple of days after the woman comes back. She comes back either late tonight or early tomorrow. She's not sure if she's going to spend the night in LA at the airport or come straight here. But I'm going to move over to the guest house when she's on her way, and I'm going to stay here for a couple of more days. And then when my house sit starts in Palm Springs, I'll head over there. I'm in Indio right now. So that's my schedule. That's my day. That's my next couple of weeks. Hanging out, doing those things. Life has been pretty good here. So I'm not on a career break right now. I took a career break in 2015 for 1 year. Now I am a person who works and travels. I need to make money. I need to work to make money. So I work doing this, right? Doing YouTube, doing coaching, hosting the virtual summit, Exodus Summit 2023. I do those things for money. Um, but I don't have a job, but I do work, right? I don't have a job, but I do work for now, until I don't have to work for money anymore. But I have taken a career break. I have taken a career break. Now, I'm not the kind of person who ever feels like I'm going to get bored, because I don't get bored. I'm going to say something controversial yet brave, okay? If you get bored, you might be a boring person. Let me know in the chat now that I've said that. Let me know in the chat if you're concerned about getting bored on your career break. It's okay. It's okay to be a boring person today. You don't have to be a boring person forever. Let me tell you why you might be a boring person. You might be a boring person if you have let work, let is aggressive. If work has become, let me put it in a more passive tone, you might be a boring person because work has become your life, right? Work has seeped into the other parts of your life and taken over. Work is an invasive species. So you might be boring. You might be afraid of getting bored if work is over indexing in your life, and you just need to put some things back into perspective. So I think if you think, let me say this, I think if you're afraid of getting bored on a career break, that's why you need to take a career break, because you probably don't know what you could do. The reason you don't know what you could be doing is that work has been over, 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 work has become an invasive species in your life. The reason you don't know what you could do if you had a whole bunch of free time is that you spent too much time working. That's the reason. That's actually the reason you should take a break. If you can't think of what you would do, that's the reason why. You need to uncover the parts of you that work has buried. You need to uncover the parts of you that have been suffocated out by that invasive species called work. It's like a weed in the garden, and you do need to pull it out. Okay? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Hallie, be quiet, please. I see the house, Miss Perry. Let's see if she's here. Hello, Mom. Good morning. Good morning. My mom says good morning to everyone. Good morning, Mom. She's doing fine. Let's see. I talked to my parents on Father's Day. I don't have a, hold on. I don't really know how to mute. You know what? It's going to take me forever to mute. Hold on. Okay. All right. Something's working her up. The gardener and the pool man already came for the week, so I don't know what could be back there. She lives on a golf course. Okay. So their backyard backs up to the golf course. So maybe she's just upset right now about the golfers. It's Saturday morning, girl. You're going to have to get over it, okay? These retirees out here living. These retirees are out here living. KS says, I'm never bored. I have a million hobbies. There is something that you like to do, that you would love to do with some free time. You just haven't uncovered it yet. So if you haven't uncovered it yet, that's the reason to take a career break. Sona says, volunteer if you must do something, like volunteer to work on self. I submit, okay? So let me tell you this. I submit that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to take a career break and do anything. Volunteering, sure, is nice, and I did it. Okay, so on my career break, because I needed the money, I needed to cut back on expenses. I spent a little bit of time during my career break volunteering in exchange for free room and board in Australia and Cambodia. Okay, so I did some things during my career break. I didn't only spend time in the hammock, but I did some of that during my career break. But it wasn't in order to serve people. I think there should be some time when you're doing things that are only for you, because you probably haven't done that before. If you're a Black woman in the US or Canada or UK or Caribbean, right? And if you're a Black, let me say this, if you're a Black woman, you probably have not spent time doing things for you. Volunteer work is for other people, unless you do a volunteer work that is something that you enjoy, right? So, like going to the Caribbean, I interviewed Tiffany on this channel a couple years ago now. Going to the Caribbean and helping people build a school or whatever, don't do that on your sabbatical. Free time. Give yourself free time on your sabbatical. Unless you need the room and board, free room and board, right? Unless you need it to make the sabbatical work financially, which I did. Unless you need it to make it work financially, don't do it. At least don't do it in the beginning. Let's say this. Don't do it in the beginning. If you only have 3 months, don't do it. But if you have a year, sure, after 3 months or so, sure, do something like that. You may fall into something that you really love, or, something that really can ignite you and ignite the next part of your life. But in the beginning, don't set up your sabbatical time to be time for someone else. And that's how I view volunteer work. I did it. I'm telling you, I did volunteer work for free room and board through a business called Workaway, or through a site, an organization called Workaway. And I did a video here about that not long ago. If you put Workaway in the search bar, it's Workaway, Stephanie Perry, you should find it. But yeah, try your hardest to give yourself weeks or months that are dedicated to nobody else. Okay? Nobody else. What did I say to the dog? I just told her to be quiet. She follows commands. You just have to give her the right command. I had to go cycle through, I don't know, right? I don't know. Is she going to follow be quiet or stop talking or lay down or go to sleep or what? What command do I need to give her to get her quiet? Oh, look at this, bubblegum. I found your channel last year and started saving. I'm so close to leaving finally. Ah, that's wonderful. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Are you at all, do you have this question? Is this a question that you've ever asked yourself? Oh, what would I do? Would I get bored? All right. Okay. Arlene Beeman. Hi, Arlene. That invasive species called work. I'm in retirement mode and travel-minded when it's safe to do so. Okay, good. Good. Racina Batson, it's okay to just be. It's okay to just be. Just be. There is a playlist happening in your brain. There is a lot of stuff playing over and over and over inside of your brain that's telling you who you are or who you think you are and what you should do and what you deserve and what you don't deserve and all of that, what you can do and what you can't do. And when you have a whole lot of free time that's not dedicated to anybody or anything else, and you can sit in quiet, you get to hear what's playing in your brain. And you get to say, oh, this is what's been causing me to operate like this. And you get to decide, do I want to keep this playing in my brain? Do I want to turn the volume up? Do I want to delete that track altogether? You get to work on yourself when you have a whole lot of quiet time and a whole lot of free time in a way that life is not designed for us to do in the United States, right? In our working lives, in our working years. A sabbatical can really set you up for an amazing next part of your life. Life is chapters, A sabbatical can set you up for an amazing next part of your life. If you take some quiet time, seriously, if you give yourself some free time and decide on what you want, what can happen is a sabbatical can be so busy, so jam-packed, so full of activity and action that you don't get a chance to set yourself up for the next part of life. And you could return back to your sabbatical the same. No growth, no revelations, no clarity. And then, it was nice to have some time off, but you didn't maximize it. You didn't get the full benefit. And so, if you can't yet fathom sitting in quiet for some time and taking naps and strolling around and whatever, maybe picking up some hobbies you have let drop before, If you can't imagine that being a fulfilling period of time, that's why you need to do it. You have to do it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So many women, if you're in the Exodus Summit community, you know so many women take a sabbatical and just come back different. So you don't want to be a person who doesn't get to have that experience. They're no more deserving than you, right? The women who get some sort of transformation in their lives are no more deserving than you. So, but you put yourself in that position. You have to put yourself in the position to get it and to put yourself in the position to get it. You have to be okay with, I'm not going to do things. I'm going to sit and listen. I'm going to think back. I'm going to think forward. But I'm going to spend a whole lot of time doing nothing. All right? All right, so sabbaticals can be a lot of time of doing nothing and then transition into some time where you do something. You don't, if you're taking a year, you don't have to spend a whole year doing nothing. But there should be some time doing nothing and start that off. Because you're going to want to sleep, first of all. I mean, you're going to want to sleep for weeks and weeks. You're going to want to sleep. You're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm supposed to be doing these things and writing a book, starting a business, checking off 50 cities from my travel destination dream bucket list, right? And all I can do is sleep. Well, that's what you needed, right? You needed it. You're going to think you're doing it wrong, but you're doing it right. Okay, so I said if you're in the Exodus Summit community, you get to see women who have been transformed by a sabbatical. Exodus Summit is our Facebook group for Black women who are planning a sabbatical, a move abroad, planning digital nomad lives for themselves and oftentimes also for their families. This community is on Facebook for now. But if you're watching from the future, hello, friends in the future. Who knows? It may not be a Facebook group. So check out exodussummit.com/community. Even if you're not on Facebook and you're watching from the future, go to exodussummit.com/community and join us. It's a wonderful community, best place on the internet, full of Black women with a desire for a new plan, with a desire to do things a new way, full of Black women who don't want to dedicate their entire lives to work, right? Who don't want worker you to be all of you. So join us there. ADHD cutie on single mom duty says, yes, sleep. You need that brain drain. Sleep is the necessary part, a necessary part of healing, of wellness, of health, right? We don't get enough. So that's why when you when you have free time, that's why you sleep, because you really needed it. And you need more and more and more. That's why I am like, ugh, so mad at these pets. And I'm so mad at y'all for letting your pets sleep with you. And then when I come house sit, they got to sleep with me. Don't let your pet sleep with you. We talked about this last week, I think, just last week. They are ruining your sleep. I'm a witness because when I step into your life for a few days, man, it's like, y'all live like this? I'm telling you, that dog came to me in the room with a golf ball in her mouth twice last night. Because they live on a golf course, she finds golf balls and has them hidden around the house. So I take a ball from her and hide it from her. Or just, you can't really hide it, but I take it from her. And she just goes and gets another one. Like, what? I said what I said. All right. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Anything happening here? I don't know. Did we cover, have we covered an entire video in 20 minutes? Is it the fastest live stream I've ever done? I don't know, maybe. Because that's all I really have to say on that. If you think, seriously, if you're the person who's saying, oh, I don't even know what I would do, I think that means you're not a whole person. I think you need to find the rest of you. I think you need to quit your job, take a career break or a sabbatical or a gap year, whatever you want to call it, a mini retirement, and find out. I think this is the person that this is exactly for. That's what I think. That's what I know. Okay? I'm not saying that if you do know what you would do on a sabbatical, that you don't need it. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying if you don't know what you would do on a sabbatical, you need it most. Red alert. These are red alert conditions. That's what I think. I know people say it and they feel pride. I don't even know what I would do. I would be so bored. I am such a person who is important and busy and I need to be doing all the time. Not the flex you think it is. Not the flex you think it is. That means that that messaging that Black women are the workhorse of society has really seeped in. It's really taken hold. You need to really burn that down. Not the flex you think it is. Hi, Keisha. I'm retiring at 55, 3 years and counting. Yes. Thank you for your channel. You're welcome. My pleasure. It has been a game changer. Self-enslavement is real. 3 years is amazing. Retiring at 55, I love it. I can't wait to see it. Keep us posted. I'm so glad for you. Okay? So glad. Another person I get to write in my success book, right? Win for me. Because, you know, I take the credit. I don't know if y'all know. I take credit for everything that y'all do. Okay? Yeah, right? Retiring at 55 to a lot of people could be scary. My dad retired around that time. It wasn't scary for him. He couldn't wait. He kept waiting for DuPont to tell him it was time, right? But retiring at 55 is amazing. It's amazing. Waiting until your retirement age to start living is a scam. It's a scam. And being able to cash out early, win, a capital W, win with a capital W. We spoke last year, we had a speaker at Exodus Summit, the author of Cash Out, Kirsten Saunders. Kirsten and her husband are the authors of Cashing Out. But we had them come in and talk about cashing out because we talk so much about how much money you need and how much savings you need and how much you need to invest and what you need to do to put your money to work for you. But we never talk about when can you just use it? When am I supposed to use it? We talk about acquiring it, getting it, saving it, earning it, making it, but we don't talk about using it, right? And then what happens? You kick the bucket and somebody else gets to use it. Your kids and your grandkids get to use it. So use it for you. So I'm very happy to hear that, Keisha. 3 years, let's go. Now that doesn't mean, so retiring in 3 years doesn't mean that you don't rest and relax now. It doesn't mean you don't take breaks now when you can, right? I think you probably know that. I think you probably know that. All right. Hi, Pat Bro. Nothing more than the voice of reason in your own head telling you you to finally find, oh, I don't know. I don't think that's for me. Voice of reason in your head. I don't think that's for me because we didn't talk about a partner. All right. Tamra, my job tries to have so much control in our life that we're forced to do 12 hours of volunteer work. It's a part of our annual review. Too much say in my life. Your job should not be the boss of you, of your time outside of the slice that you have decided it should take up, right? If work is seeping into other parts of your life, I think it's time to weed it out. I mean, I think it's time to weed it out. I have had a job, I've had jobs too that required some sort of volunteer work. And then of course, you know, I've been in the Army. I was in the Army where they were like, your life is ours. But if you don't want to do it, you have to find other solutions, right? If you feel like your job is taking over parts of your life that you don't want it to, we have choices, right? We have choices, and we need to start exercising those choices. Maria's on a mommy sabbatical now. Does that mean, let me keep reading, and everything to prepare for my next chapter, just falling right in place, including meeting people that would be my community when I move. Wonderful. Universe has your back, yes. I think that's on my sabbatical now. I'm on my sabbatical now. Okay. I was wondering, is a mommy sabbatical when you just drop the kids off somewhere? Tell me how you do that. Okay. Maria, I'm on my sabbatical now, and to prepare for my next chapter, and everything is falling into place. The universe has your back. When you take action, when you get clear on what you want and you take action towards what you want, things really do happen for you. Seriously, seriously, seriously. I've taken action towards things I don't want, and it was just like banging your head up against the wall, right? My virtual assistant business was that. I was taking action towards a life I didn't really want. Being a virtual assistant was fine, and it would pay the bills. It could have paid the bills if I had had a little more business savvy at the time. It could have paid the bills, and it was fine, but it wasn't going to give me the life that I want. I want to feel like abundance in my everyday life. And being a virtual assistant wasn't going to help me feel like abundance. Working in the Army night shift was fine. It paid me enough to live my life. It was fine, but I was never going to feel like abundance in the hospital or in the hospital. Once I started moving towards the things that I really wanted for myself, which is writing, right? Which is speaking, not when I say teaching, I mean teaching in a very loose way. With this, right? Those are the things that make me feel like abundance today. Made me feel like abundance even when the money wasn't coming, right? Even when the money was a little bit behind, right? I started my YouTube channel and it took me a year to make a penny from YouTube AdSense, right? And that first penny was like $75. And then you have to wait an extra month because they don't send you $75. They don't send you money until you make $100. I think my first AdSense was 80. Then the second month was 75, right? So it took me 2 months to get paid. So even in that year's time before that, I still felt like abundance, right? I still felt like I was giving abundantly and that I would receive abundantly. And those things have worked out for me with much more ease and flow than the things that I didn't even want, that I was putting more effort into, working harder on. Ease and flow are real. Ease and flow are for me, and I'm guessing they're probably for you too. And yes, when you get clear on what you want and you take some action toward those things, universe does have your back. Things will really fall in place for you. I see it over and over. I know I gave you an example of me, but there are other women here too. Anybody else? Anybody else have that experience? I know it's not just me. Lady Sarita says that vision sounds glorious. I hope you're moving towards it. I hope you're moving towards it. Hi, Angela. Reverend Dr. Angela B. Martin. Today is my 1-year anniversary of the start of our sabbatical. Wonderful. Happy anniversary. Angela's hour is herself and her husband who moved, and the kids, I guess. Yeah, our sabbatical. Well, the kids aren't on sabbatical. Kids are students. And, well, maybe. I don't know. Let me think about this. Are the kids on sabbatical too? No, they got to go to school. Angela and her husband on sabbatical. Today's the start of my 1 year. Today's the 1 year anniversary of the start of our sabbatical. I can't believe a year has flown by already. I haven't had a chance to get bored. Yes. And Angela, I think it's okay to say, is a person who is used to doing all of the things. Angela she just finished her PhD. So she was a PhD student, a preacher, I think maybe a pastor. I don't remember. I don't remember if Angela was the pastor of the church or not. A PhD student. She was a person who worked in the Poor People's Campaign in the city of Baltimore, a higher up in that organization. Mom, a wife, all of the things. And here she is in Querétaro, Mexico, dropping some of these responsibilities, which would seem very hard, especially that the work that she did when I sat in Angela's van in Querétaro, and she told me that she had not been involved in the organization since she left for Mexico. I was like, Angela, I'm so proud of you. I didn't expect that. I expected her to say, well, I don't do as much, but I still do now and then and whatever, whatever. She was like, oh, no, 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 I'm not involved. I was like, I'm so proud of you. Look at you. Giving responsibility over to other people and leaving it there. Girl, yes, right? So happy anniversary to you, Angela. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Jada, I've been thinking about taking a sabbatical, but my husband doesn't seem to want to be with the kids often. Okay, that concerns me because I don't know if they'll be good and cared for without me being there. Real concern. That's a real concern. Women who have male partners are doing so much of the load that the male partners, they don't want. They don't. They don't want the redistribution of responsibility. I don't know what women are doing to fix that. I've asked this question before. Who is the Marie Kondo? So Marie Kondo is my go-to girl. Not because I've watched her show or anything. I listened to Marie Kondo's audiobook before I started writing my own book. And the way that she introduced a new concept to people with a hammer, she was just like, stop buying organizational tools and get rid of that stuff. You don't need to organize your stuff. Stop decluttering, stop moving things around in your home and get rid of the stuff, right? She introduced a whole new concept to me and to us, to the world. A whole new concept to the world. So she's my go-to example of like, who is the blank in this space? So who is the Marie Kondo in the setting up, reorganizing or setting boundaries? It's not really setting boundaries. It's reassigning responsibility inside of the home, right? Who is the person out here who's telling women, teaching women how to get stuff off their plates in the home? I don't know who it is, but we need her. Many hers. We need them out here, right? Remember the nanny? Who was that nanny that used to go around? Nanny 911? I don't remember her name. We need Nanny 911 for household responsibilities, right? Who is that? Who is out here showing the way? Because I can't help you with that. I, okay, so keep in mind, I didn't sleep last night, and I don't like that, and I don't function well, and it's going to cloud everything that I had to say today. But if you recognize this, let me get your name off this screen, girl. It's too late, but let me do that. You're also a new name. I don't know if you were aware that I would just put things on the screen for minutes and minutes at a time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you recognize, this is for everybody, if you recognize that there is something that is out of balance, out of whack, right? And it involves a relationship that's out of whack, and you have to address it, or it's just going to lead to resentment. There's nothing good that comes out of, I recognize this thing, and oh, well, I'm just going to leave it, right? Nothing good is going to come out of it. It has to be addressed. And then once it's addressed, sometimes that person will bow out. I'm not wishing this. I don't like the way I went into this. I don't have where's the I lose gentleness when I don't sleep. But sometimes that person will bow out and be like, actually, you want to reorganize things? Oh, I don't want to do that at all. Bye. And so for some women, that's helpful. For some women, because some women aren't going to bow out themselves, sometimes it's helpful for the other person to be like, oh no, I don't want the version of you that speaks up for herself. Or I don't want the version of you that wants to be treated equally. Bye. But that being said, not everybody, right? Some because men are just used to things working out in their favor, they don't think about the sacrifices and what it costs the other woman, what costs the woman. So sometimes you can address these things. I hope that you find a way to address these things. Address your partner who is not your husband, who is not doing what you need him to do for you to thrive. There are women who have husbands who want them to thrive. As much as I joke about it, there are women whose husbands want them to thrive. So is there a way that you address this so that he knows, here's how I help her thrive? I hope there is. If not, there's a third party who can help you navigate this thing. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not any of those things. There is a person who can help you with that conversation. The therapists, this is what they do. They help you go out into the world and show up the way you want to in the world and in your relationships. So address it. That's a legitimate concern. So you see how I didn't just say, oh, they'll be all right, he'll do it. It's a legitimate concern, right? But what you need, you need. What you need, probably your well-being, your health, which is your life, depends on it. What you need to go after it like your well-being, your health, your life depend on it. All of us, all Black women, we need to go after these things like our life depends on it. But there are different ways that we have to address things when there are other people involved. Sometimes it's got to be radical. This is a pretty radical year for me. For some of y'all, so there are women in this community right now who are taking some pretty radical action in their lives. Okay, I need to get off that subject. Y'all know what we talk about, men. As a house sitter, I've stayed in homes with families for different, like I told you, she's coming back, but I'm not leaving for a couple of days. And I came on Monday and she didn't leave until Thursday afternoon, right? So I'm often milling around the house with families. This is a single woman, but a lot of times I'm milling around the house with families. And one of the how much can I say? One of the families, the man was like something about, so I'm also a worker in people's homes, and people who are used to having workers come in the home, housekeepers, nannies, whatever's, they don't really see you. You're kind of invisible, you know, which I don't mind. Like, I don't want to talk to y'all that much anyway. So he made a comment about there not being any sex in their relationship. Okay, he said out loud, there's something about no sex in the relationship. And I'm like, but like, you're basically her son, right? She does your laundry, she cooks your meals, she cleans up after you. This vacation y'all going on, she did all of it, all of the planning, all of the work. You don't even know where you're staying. You're a child in this. You've positioned yourself as the child in this relationship. And then you're mad because she doesn't want to have sex with you. Are you kidding? We're off topic. We off topic. But I've seen that with my own eyes. I've only been here for a few days. And this woman has done all of the things. In fact, she's bringing me in. So this was not a house sit. This was one of the work exchanges. This was one of the work exchanges. I don't think I've told you enough about that family for you to know who they are. This was one of the work exchanges. I was actually in their home for 2 or 3 months. I've only been here for a few days. I actually think of you as one of our kids as well. She had to bring in a wife, right? My work exchange in that family was for her. I came in and acted as a wife in that household. Got the kids up, packed their lunch, got them dressed for school, put their fed them breakfast, drove the carpool. She brought in a wife to take care of things so that she could have a little bit of break, not a break, but like a little bit more balance or whatever. And you can't understand why she doesn't want to have sex with you. Come on, man. Come on, man. She had to bring in a wife. You're an able-bodied man. I used to have a coworker who used to say that all the time. She used to come into work exhausted. She'd be like, I need a wife. Like, I need a wife. I got a husband. I got kids. But I need a wife. I need somebody to do some of this other stuff for me. I understand it, but I don't know who is the person out here teaching us how to fix that. We need those voices, not a person. We need those voices. teaching women how to meet families, not the women, teaching the family how to fix that before that woman breaks down. Y'all will be at our homegoing service talking about, oh, she was such a good mom. She was such a good wife. She was a mule. She was a workhorse, and you killed her. I need more sleep. Tandy, hi Tandy. Finally left a career that wasn't serving me and feel so lightweight. Yes, tension and stress in my body has literally melted. You don't know what that feels like until you don't feel it. Right? You don't know what it feels like when stress leaves you until stress leaves you. You can't imagine, friends. I don't even care what the stress is. I don't care if it's work stress. I don't care if it's white people in the United States stress. I don't care what the stress is. You don't know what it's like to not have it until you don't have it. Seriously, light is the exact way to feel it, just to describe it. It just lifts. It's just gone. Man, you were like, oh. Rashida Dow is a career break coach, and her YouTube channel is Rashida Dow. I'm just going to type in youtube.com/Rashida Dow. If you are looking to if you're here on this video, you should also be subscribed to her channel, /@Rashida Dow. If you're here watching this video, you should be subscribed to Rashida's channel as well. All right, Rashida Dow took a career break from lawyer life and did not return. Okay, spoiler alert. But she talks about, and she worked in the tech sector, and she worked with lots and lots of men, and lots of men in tech who are just not good people, right? As a Black woman attorney, they spent their days talking to her as if she didn't know what she was talking about, right? All day, every day. Okay, some of y'all can relate, all right? And she talks about how after she got into her career break, a few weeks or a few months into her career break, she was pooping on a regular schedule and was like, oh, is this what this is like? Is that what happens when you are no longer knotted and tensed up all day? You poop every day? I didn't know. She was like, I didn't know it could be like this. There is a change in your body that happens when you let go of some of that stuff, right? I hope we all get to feel it. Chris says, yes, the stress. The closer I got to December, the closer I get to December, the happier I am at work. Oh, so December must be the end for you. All right, congratulations, right? Yeah, Gigi, right? It was beyond mansplaining. It was like yelling and screaming at her in meetings. Listen, Black women are dealing with stuff at work that I didn't even know it was that bad. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad until I started talking with Dr. Kimani, who is a licensed clinical therapist who helps Black women heal from toxic work environments. I didn't know how bad it was until I started doing videos with her on this channel, and y'all started leaving comments about your experiences. I mean, you're still alive. That's a miracle. That's a blessing. That's a gift. That's an indication that you need to make a change. Okay? There's no glory. There's no glory in enduring the mistreatment of other people. There's no glory in that, right? Some people do revel in it and do take some satisfaction in it. But what you're saying is you believe for some reason you deserve less. There's no glory in saying, I deserve less. No, there's not. It was beyond mansplaining. Some of y'all know what that's like. And so, let me see. I actually have a link to drop for a different thing. Do I have a link to drop for a different thing? I mentioned Dr. Kimani. Dr. Kimani and Anne Marie are hosting a masterclass on leaving a hostile work environment with your coins. Let me take just a second to get that link because it's happening, I believe, next week. I don't think it happened already. It's happening next week. How to leave a hostile work environment with your severance or your Yeah, with a package. If a work environment has broken the law, they should pay. Being a woman, being a black woman, being a queer black woman, at that, there is money in them mistreating you, and there's money in them, in you saying they mistreated me, and then them being even more, or like them taking that out on you. There's money in it, okay? So yes, it's terrible. Yes, we hate it. Yes, we leave those situations, but yes, we also get our money, okay? We also get our paper. They pay. They pay for that, okay? So the Save Yourself Masterclass, I'm gonna drop the link to that here. The masterclass is for Black women only. In the description, I'll link to this as well. If you feel like, if you're not a Black woman, if you're not a Black woman, but you think that you would like to pay for someone else to attend the masterclass, in the description of this video, I've also dropped her. If you're watching the replay, in the description, I'll also drop her email address. You can just email her and say, I want to pay for someone else to attend this masterclass. You can do that as well. Okay, but it's the Save Yourself Masterclass, okay? Link in the description. It's happening the end of June, which is now. I'm pretty sure it's next week, but I'm sorry, I don't know the dates. I could just click on the link. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do all that, okay? Because then I'm still not gonna remember next time we talk about it, okay? But this is a masterclass on leaving a hostile work environment, getting your coins that you're owed legally. By the law says they owe you money. A hostile workplace is against the law, and the law says they owe you money for that. And so leaving, getting your coins, and then healing from that so that you don't move on to the next and the next and the next and repeat the cycle. Okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. ADHD Cutie on Single Mom Duty says, my grief counselor told me I needed to take a month off from work to recover from my double trauma. I told her my job would never agree to that. And then COVID hit a month after. God had the final say. Yeah, things will work. So, listen, COVID was terrible and is terrible, okay? But some of us did have something good come from it, right? Sometimes things will work in your favor. Even sometimes bad things work out in your favor. Tuesday and Wednesday. Aurora, thank you. Hi, Aurora. How you doing? Okay, she says Tuesday and Wednesday, the workshop. Okay, thank you kindly. All right, good. So I hope that means you're, what? I guess that means you're going to be there. I don't know how to say that. I don't hope you have a hostile work environment. I hope you don't have to go. But it sounds to me like you know the dates because you're going. So I hope that things work out in your favor. Let's say that, okay? All right. Okay? Yeah, workplace abuse. So, you know, the United States was built on the foundation of slavery and genocide and all of that. And so people just have perpetuated it. The people who came here, the white people who came to this country came here to do those things, right? The white people who came to this country came here to be the worst people. Their countries wouldn't let them. So they came here to be the worst people. And they made babies with other bad people and grandchildren and right? So we're a few generations down, but they're the same people. And they do those same things, just in different environments. So no, it's not in the cotton fields. It's in the office. It's in the school. It's in the hospital. These are the same people. They're the same people. So expecting them to be good people, you sound ridiculous. Okay? If you expect these American white people to be good people, you sound ridiculous. You need to get your money and go. Seriously, that's the whole premise of my YouTube channel. I don't know if you know that. The whole premise of my YouTube channel. There's no hope in expecting them. That's a hopeless. You can pattern your stuff that way. You can pattern your life in a way that, like, I just want people to be better. I just want police to stop killing us. Okay, and you can take action to try to get that end. You can take action to try to get that end. I think it's hopeless. I think they're bad people. I think we should go. Okay? And so that's why I have people come on this channel and talk about ways that they have made their exodus. Right? Mine originally was through a career break, which led me to just bopping around the world all willy-nilly through house sitting and through, at first, my virtual assistant work and then my coaching business and then other things, right? And it's now leading me to an actual permanent home, getting some sort of residency in Costa Rica. But it's not the subject of this video is the career break and boredom, but this is resulting from us being in a bad environment. With some of us, we all need, even if your job is amazing and people treat you wonderfully, you should take a career break. You should have time in your adult life, in your younger adult life, where nobody has a say but you, right? We should all take a career break, no matter how glorious and how wonderful your job is, and your employers are, your coworkers are, right? Everyone should take a career break, okay? But this conversation is necessary for Black women because of how bad we have it at our jobs. Necessary, okay? How am I doing? Okay. I see a couple thumbs up. I'm gonna lose some of y'all with but I do see a couple thumbs up happening, so this is gonna be one of them unsubscribed videos. When I put up a video, there are videos where I get new subscribers and there are videos where I lose a bunch of subscribers. I really need to sleep. I lose some of that gentleness. I lose that. But they're the same people, and they're bred together, right? So here I am taking care of a dog who is a working dog, right? The blue heeler, that's a working type of dog. They're out there used to doing. She's high energy. She's very smart. It would be ridiculous for me to expect her to not be a blue heeler. It would be ridiculous for me to be like, oh, why is this dog not lazy? You know, my last dogs were whatever they were, and they didn't have a whole lot of energy, right? It would be ridiculous for me to expect her to be that. She is what she is. It's in her blood. Lines, generations of breeding made her who she is today. Same with people. Okay? Same with people. How could you expect? There are new white people coming to the country all the time, right? There are different types of white people in this country. But I'm talking about the white people who are descendants of those white people. Why do you expect them? And that's the majority. That's the majority. I do a lot of sitting and reflecting and pondering. And I've had some white people friends, but none of them had 3 or 4 grandparents born here, right? I've done some reflecting. Like, but you have had white people. I had a work husband who was really good to me, really good friend. Oh, yeah, that's right. Both sets of parents, their parents were not born in the U.S. Makes sense, right? They were Dutch. Both sets of parents were Dutch, and they came to the anyway. So I'm like, oh. I'll be pondering stuff. In middle school, I had a friend named Mara. Her mom's parents were not from here, but I don't remember the dads. And then I had a different work friend. He was born on the. He says he was born on the boat when they came here from Poland, but I'm pretty sure they didn't get here on no boat. And I'm pretty sure he was born in the U.S., but that's his little joke. He was born on the boat. His parents came from Poland. So there are different white people, but the white people who are at your job, having you crying in meetings, there's no hope of them being better people. They can't be better people. So get your money and go. Okay, so I dropped the link to the Save Yourself Masterclass. Go on and get yourself in the masterclass. Again, I'll put the link in the description of this video. Ugh. Candy Crusher 2024 is crazy when you have them as in-laws. My sister's husband is from West Virginia. I would never. Y'all wouldn't see me. Yeah, people out here bringing children, black and brown children into their families. Like, think about that. Think about that. Do you want these to be your kids' grandparents? Think about it. Ugh. Okay. TM Smith 30. When I was a recruiter, a client, black woman, would contract for 6 months and then take the remaining 6 months off. Now that's a vibe. That is pretty common in this community. Anybody doing anything like that right now? When we were in Morocco, we had a lovely meetup in Morocco with 100 of our closest friends. Joanna said she was doing that. And two different women talk about, oh no, I work 6 months on, 6 months off now. Contractors do it. And then people who, you don't necessarily need to have your own business to do that. It depends on your setup with your employer, or it depends on what kind of work you do. Two different women. One is a doctor. Yeah, right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, waiting until 65 to have free time, it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a scam. Based on the way my knees already don't bend, can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm only 48 and 11/12. Oh man, I'm 48 and what? 23/24. I'll be 49 in less than 2 weeks, right? The way my knees already don't bend, can you imagine me having had all of my time dedicated to work even today? Whew, I would not be a happy camper. Okay. People who believe that's in the past. Yeah, high vibe. People who believe that's in the past, like the white people stuff. People who believe that that was in the past are practicing cognitive dissonance. There are things that people do to cope. People do different things to cope and try to feel different ways to cope. But we don't need to cope. We can thrive. You can thrive. You can thrive. You can have a life that you are so in love with. You can have a life that just lights you up and makes you feel so good. You can thrive. You don't have to cope. You don't have to live a life of dealing with and handling. You can live a life of amazing. I get to live a life of amazing. Hi, F Doctor. I'm still pet sitting, and these animals just got on my nerves last night. F Doctor saying, why didn't I sleep last night? I missed it. I missed it in the beginning. They just went ham. One dog and two cats. The dog woke me up 2 different times to play ball. And then got in the bed with me, which she usually, if she gets in the bed with me, she'll sleep at the foot of the bed. Got in the bed with me and got in my face, panting in my face, because she knows I can't stand it. Get out of my face. She's panting in my face. I have no problem going to sleep, but I do have a problem once I wake up going back to sleep lately. That's been a new development. I think it may be something related to perimenopause. I don't know. I used to have no problem going back to sleep, right? And I can still take a nap with ease. I've been taking naps since I've been here because of the sleeplessness, right? But I can take a nap with ease. But going right back to sleep in the bed at night, once they wake me up, it has not been working. So that's what's happening. That's why I didn't get sleep. I probably got 4.5, 5 hours of sleep last night. I'm not talking about zero sleep. I got as much sleep as some of y'all get on a regular basis. Okay, and this is how I don't function on that. This is how I don't function on 5 hours of sleep. Oh my gosh, the bags under my eyes. You can't, I don't know if you can see it. Don't just act like you can't really see them. But I'm going to tell you that they're there. Okay? I'm going to tell you that they're there. It's real. Vaughn says crying, hell no, crying at work. It's real. Okay, so I had to stop reading the comments. The first time I interviewed Dr. Kimani on this channel about toxic workplaces, I had to stop reading the comments for my own mental health. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. The 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 situations that Black women are dealing with at work sucks. It's not good, right? My main beef with my jobs was that, I've never had a job where I could plan a vacation, pick some days, and be 100% guaranteed that they would approve that my vacation was on the books, right? Always I got to call out sick. They gave me 3 days. I got to call out sick this day. I got to get somebody to cover for me this day. I never had a job where I could be like, I'm taking off these 7 days and just sit back and take off those 7 days. Always required me to do a whole bunch of extra stuff. That was my main beef with work, right? Right? But there are Black women dealing with the same things you would expect when you work with the descendants of enslavers, the descendants of actual Nazis, right? Just exactly what you would expect. And the descendants of people who have grown up under the thumb of Nazis and enslavers, right? Because I see some comments in here, it's not only the white people at work. Right, right? They've grown up under the same system, the same system. They trying to trying to win at a game that was not designed for them to win. All right. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. I'm convinced some people, I don't know if you can't say that. I don't think you can say that on the internet. We out. How do you explain DeSantis? His grandparents were Italians. They were not. They were Nazis who went to Italy. So the people who really felt like, oh yes, it's a good idea to commit a genocide, right? They spread out all over the world. After World War II, those people went everywhere. They came to the United States. They went to Central and South America. They went into other parts of Europe. They're all over, right? There's bad people. And they're not the only bad. Nazis are not the only bad people, right? Italy had their own people. There's bad people. There are bad people. I think that that's the thing that always surprises me about my mom. She forgets that there are just bad people. She thinks everyone is a good person, and why would he do that? Like, he's a bad person. There are bad people. But she always be like, well, how could so-and-so do that? How could he do that? I'm like, girl, there are bad people. They're just bad people. There's no chance that they could do good things and be good people. It's not who they are. They are bad people. Janet Jackson. Hello, Janet Jackson. I just went back to work after 10 months off. Congratulations. I hope that did you get a chance to do nothing, right? And do you feel like you're returning to work are you returning to work with a new shift or focus for the next part of your life, for this new part of your life? Or did you just drop back into the same life? Serious question. Serious question. I'm a nurse. Okay. Yeah, that's a serious question. Do you feel, did it change you or not? Okay. Ooh, wait, I done something to my screen. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of them unsubscribe videos. There are people who really believe that like there are people who believe like this, right? There are people who do believe this. You don't have to agree with me to take a career break, okay? This is off topic. You don't have to agree with me to take a career break. I still want you to take a career break, okay? But at some point, you're going to come to the conclusion, I think, that they bad. They're bad. Bad batch. It's a bad batch of people here. Thank you, Jacqueline. I finally put some dye in my hair. So it's finally, I'm not saying I did the best job, okay? But I finally threw some dye in my hair. Um, So it's because it's been like 4 different colors lately, gray and its own color, and then that color from the leftover dye, and then like a different color from the sun. Because I've been in the pool because of these house sits. I've been in the pool for a lot over the last few weeks, and my hair is just not. It wasn't doing well. So I threw some color in there, and I'm gonna try to get some twists in over the next couple of days and just pump some moisture into my hair. Pump some moisture in. Trusted House Sitters, Taste of Jamaica. How do I find house sits? I use Trusted House Sitters. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to my new house sitter toolkit. And I'm going to put it here if I can find it. Yes, new house sitter toolkit. Okay, so my new house sitter toolkit includes my affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters. It includes my email pitch email template that gives you, it's the actual letter I use to get booked, the template for that. You can't use it directly because it sounds exactly like me. And then when you get on the phone with them, they'll be like, this is not the same person who applied. Okay? But you need to change it to sound like you. But it's a good template to tell you what to say, what things to cover in your pitch, right? What sections you need to hit. All right? So that's at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. Housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. New house sitter toolkit, get house sits, okay? House sitting is not reparations, but I do treat it like reparations. House sitting doesn't count as reparations. You get to stay in and you get free accommodation. It doesn't count as reparations because everyone can use house sitting. Reparations are reparations only if they are given to the people who were harmed, right? And the descendants of the people who were harmed. But I treat it as reparations. Okay? Which is why when they're like, oh, I come back on the 24th, but you're welcome to stay in the guest house for a couple of days, I say, thank you, I will. And that's that on that. Okay, I feel like we did what we needed to do. Well, look, I haven't looked at my notes once, though. What did I write in my notes? If you can't think of what you do with your free time, that's why you need free time. What to do. Okay, so what to do during the free time? Listen to your thoughts. We talked about that. Listen to what's playing in your head. Some people are really afraid of silence, of quiet time, like actual free time. Not like I'm listening to this and I'm working on that and right, but actual quiet, which is what some people, there's a form of meditation that is just listening to what's in your brain. I'm not a meditation teacher. All right, I don't know. But there is a form of meditation where you just listen to what's playing in your brain, okay? This is crucial to you knowing yourself and to you becoming who you want to become. You can't become who you want to become if you don't pay attention to what's playing over and over and over in your brain and address it, right? You're just trying to swim upstream in that case. So spend a lot of time where you get to listen to what's in your brain. There are different people who teach different types of meditation on the internet, on YouTube. So get with one, right? Get with somebody who you're into. I read Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, but I can't compare it to anything else. I read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I put his stuff into practice for myself. I can't say whether or not it is any better than somebody else's teachings, okay? But it is important that we hear what's going on in our brain and address it, okay? Because that self-talk, you don't even know some of the terrible things you're saying to yourself and some of the terrible things you're believing that are causing you to act in certain ways. And so Take a lot of this free time and do that. Nothing. Nothing. Just hear what's happening in your head so that you can work on that. When people say do the work, and you're like, but what do they mean by do the work? That's the thing. That's one of the things they mean. Listen to what's in your brain and address what's in your brain. Because you can amplify the good messages and you can just hammer out the bad stuff. You can get rid of it. You can get rid of it. You reprogram, right? We reprogram our brains. Our brains are programmed from all of the environmental stuff, all of the noise, all of the messaging that we get from outside, from within our families, from our childhood, from our everyday lives, all of that. It's just messaging that is programming our brains, and we can reprogram that, right? I listen to it on audiobook. I think I bought I usually do this. I'll buy it in one version and then I'll buy it. So I have the audiobook and the Kindle, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I have both versions, but I listened to the audiobook, and then when it got to the meditation, like how to, he had to like do this every day for a week, and then do this every day for a week, right? When I got to that part, I switched over to the Kindle version. Yeah, Kimberly Bird, quieting my own thoughts and replaying scenarios of harm has depressed me. Okay, so this is a thing that a therapist can work you through, right? A therapist can work you through why are you replaying these things, right? And how do you reframe them or whatever? There are different forms of therapy. A therapist, these are the things that a therapist does, right? We don't have to do everything on our own. We don't have to do it on our own. When we need help, we get help. And this is what a therapist does. A lot of people don't like to be in the quiet. A lot of people don't like quiet time and time by themselves because of what comes out. Okay? That's what therapy is for. One of the things that therapy is for. There is a person who can guide you through this, right? And help you reprogram your brain to play the things that you want it to play and not the harmful scenarios over and over and over again. Crucial, I think, is crucial to living a life of wholeness, right? Anytime you shut off a door, you're not whole. You want to be whole and healed? I think there are people out there who help you do that. Make that a priority, right? Do what you would do for your child. If you wouldn't tell your kid, oh, this thing is scary. Oh, well. Oh, well. You would help them in some way. You would get them some help in some way. Do that for you, too. Okay. Nirel says, okay. Did I miss something, Nirel? Okay. Nirel's here to lay the hammer down. Okay. She says, keep it respectful, please. On this channel, we talk to Black women with loving kindness. If you're not able to talk to Black women with loving kindness in this chat, you cannot come. You cannot stay here. We will block you. It's pretty easy. It's one button. I have blocked people while still talking, and you don't even know, right? It's really easy. On YouTube, you actually ban them. On YouTube, so I use a third party called Ecamm Live. But when you're directly on YouTube, you can ban them, and they don't even know it. They still be typing away. Rashida thinks that is so funny. She thinks it's hilarious. Yes. The answer, people most of the time when you're house sitting, they'll be like, okay, when is your next house sit? Where are you going? And I'll be like, oh, I'm actually going like 15 minutes away. House sit starts 2 days after yours ends. Quite a few people are like, oh, if they have a space, you can stay there. Yes, my answer always yes. Unless I have something planned, yes, I do. Give me my reparations. I call it reparations. House sitting is not reparations. But that's what yeah, it's always a yes. It's the thing that really surprises people about house sitting. House sitting in itself sounds strange, right? But then staying there after they come back home sounds really strange to people. But yes, I'm always a yes. Always a yes. All right. Yes. Yeah. Therapists will help you with that. And Rashida just told me about the Loveland Foundation. The Loveland Foundation, which helps Black women get, which I think she said it helps Black women get no cost therapy. I think that's what she told me. I don't know. I don't know. No, no. Joe Dispenza is not a Black person. He's a man, a white man. Uh, I don't know. Is there a Black person who writes about, what is it? Meditation, mindfulness, reprogramming your brain? If there is, nobody's told me yet. No, he's just a white dude. Does anyone know how to contact the anti-HR lady? That's Anne Marie. Her YouTube channel is right here. So her YouTube channel is Bald Girl Will. I think she started a second YouTube channel actually called the anti-HR lady. Let me look for her channel. Bald Girl Will Travel. Yeah, it's the same channel. Let me go there and double check. Give me just a second, please. I don't see that she started a separate. When I put in the anti-HR lady, the old. Let me see. Maybe it may be so new that when I put it into YouTube, it doesn't come up. Let's see which channel this is. So here's a link. Let me click that link and see what it says. Oh, she does have a separate channel. Okay, so this is her separate YouTube channel. And so she may have a way to contact her on that channel. So check this out. Okay, so Anne Marie is the anti-HR lady, and she is a specialist who helps Black women in particular get the money they're owed from hostile work environments. Okay, so I will put this link in the description of this video, and it's here on the screen. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, Marissa. Hi, Marissa Price. Marissa says The Sugar Jar by Yasmin Cheyenne is amazing for healing. Oh, Michael Beckwith. Yeah, so Michael Bernard Beckwith. Yeah, okay, yes, but not from a, so he's not a neuro, I don't know that Joe Dispenza is a neuroscientist either. He just has read work of other neuroscientists, right? But Michael Bernard Beckwith, Agape International, that church, yeah. Let's see. Kemi, where's my interview with Ebony K. Williams? I don't think so it showed up, so it was on live. You know, her news show is a news show that happens, I think nightly. It might be not nightly, but I think it's nightly. So they showed it live, but as far as I know, it's not anywhere. The replay is not anywhere. I have not seen the replay, and nobody has shown me the replay. So I can get you to the Brio. I can get you to a clip of it. Let me see. I'll show you. I can give you the link to the clip of the interview, which is just on Instagram. But I have not seen the full interview on replay anywhere, and I didn't catch it live. So that's that. It's gonna take me a minute. I'm scrolling now, looking for my face on the Grio's Instagram account. But I don't know that the replay is anywhere. So I got the Grio app, and I thought for sure that even if you didn't catch her show live that day, you would see it on the app. but they apparently don't replay things on the app. They also have a YouTube channel, and so I thought maybe they would upload it to the YouTube channel, but they have not done that yet either. So it's in the wind, okay? I thought most live news shows put the actual show somewhere so that you can watch the replay. But as far as I know, that has not happened with this. That does not happen on the griot. But let me get the clip. Copy. Paste. All right. That is the interview that I did with Ebony K. Williams talking about the exodus of Black women from the U.S. and Exodus Summit, talking specifically about Exodus Summit. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought for sure that they would put a full version of it somewhere, but it's not going to happen now. It's been, I don't know, a month. So it's probably not going to happen now. Okay. So Bella Chic says Joe Dispenza did postgraduate training in neurology and neuroscience. Okay, thank you. Okay. Kimberly says, no, I don't want to hear it from white people. I understand that. You know I understand, Kimberly. Okay. So we will somebody in the chat knows. The book that I read by Joe Dispenza, a white person, is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. So Michael Bernard Beckwith has a more spiritual approach to things, Michael Bernard Beckwith. And he puts a lot of stuff on YouTube. His church and his personal brand, they put a lot of stuff on YouTube, but there's probably books as well. I would guess Michael Bernard Beckwith has written books. All right. Okay, good. Y'all are doing what you always do. Okay, thank you. SLS Forever is giving names of people. Nishomi Higgins, Dr. Anise Fisher, Kina Hodges, other Black women working in this space. Thank you, friends. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Okay, thank you, friends. All right, somebody knows. Ask, and you shall receive. All right. Oh, Samantha. Samantha Gregory says, I got vouchers from the Loveland Foundation. They also refer you to Black therapists. I went through Black Girl Therapy. Okay, so friends, the Loveland Foundation, Rashida told me about this. Rashida has a video on free and low-cost therapy resources, so that may be in the video, and I just don't remember it because that video is probably 2 years old now, right? But, so I did not recall the Loveland Foundation did that. If I ever knew it, I didn't know. I didn't remember it. But okay, so Samantha has gotten vouchers from them for therapy. Okay, so there are resources out here. Yeah, I would love to see it too. I would love to see it. Yeah, I wish they would just put it on YouTube. Put it on YouTube, right? I don't know. It would be nice. So I could see it. I was there when we recorded it, so I know what I said, but it would be nice to watch it again. Elena Camp says her favorite books are Creating Money and Living with Joy. Ease and peace are central to their teachings. Thank you. All right, so take some time and just scroll through the chat. You may want to take some screenshots or something. The chat will be here. So when we finish the live stream, the chat will stick around. You know, the chat disappears for just a few minutes while YouTube processes the video or whatever. But the chat comes back. So the information in the chat will stay here. They gave us, Francis did reach out to them and they gave us a copy of a portion of the interview, a portion of it. Not the whole interview. I wouldn't necessarily expect them to give a copy of the interview, but it would be nice for them to put it somewhere. Okay, that's it. I don't feel bad about it. It was a good conversation, and people did see it and reach out after seeing it. The Exodus Summit community had a whole bunch of new member requests after the interview. So it did what it needed to do. But there's just no way for y'all to watch it if you didn't catch it that day. And I didn't know what day it was going live. So it would be different if had known what day it was going to go live. But we did the interview on like a Wednesday or Thursday, and it either went live on Friday or Monday, but I don't know what day it went live. So that's all. That's it. Aurora says Melody T. McLeod, MD, Black Women's Wellness. All right. So thank you, friends. Y'all always do. Thank you for giving good information, good recommendations. Thank you very much for that. Professor LCH says the same thing. This chat is super educational this morning. Gonna have to rewatch and jot all these tips down. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, it's in there. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. And then Donna, hi Donna. Coach Donna Marie, Plant Your Seeds, says internal family systems is discussed as an effective trauma recovery tool. Search for books on it like Strong Like Water by Kolber. Okay, friends? All right, so there's good information here, good recommendations here for us. All right. Oh, Latasha, where are Black ladies weekend summering in the U.S.? Not vacation, but short summer weekends by the water. Well, if by the water you mean by a pool, I recommend Palm Springs. Palm Springs is piping hot. It's really hot here, but it's not as expensive right now because it's hot. You can get yourself a nice hotel with and a pool. It's really hot though. I'm gonna say over 100 every day for the last week. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to see the last week, but yeah. And then, okay. So 99 today, and then 102, 103, 102, 101, 105, 107, 109, 112, 113. Okay. It's piping hot. I don't know. I don't know if it's safe. I don't know if it's safe to be out in these conditions, but it's been real nice to be by pool for the last little while. If you're in the West Coast, if you're on the West Coast, I've really enjoyed Palm Springs. People here, the people here seem pretty chipper. So as you know, my previous Southern California experiences, I was like, ugh, I don't like people here. But that was LA and Santa Monica. Here in Palm Springs, they're nicer. They're friendlier and nicer. Okay. F Doctor, any updates on moving to Costa Rica? I won't get to Costa Rica until September, but it's still a go. I'll get there in September. I'm still going to Airbnb. So I'm there September, October, November, December. But then I'm gone January, February, and March again, and maybe April. January, February, March, and into April. So I'm not going to get an apartment or not going to rent a place yet. So I'm still going to be Airbnb-ing in different neighborhoods. Palm Springs, California. Palm Springs, California. It's not by the water, okay? It's in the desert. But if the pool counts as water to you, then, take that information and use it. If the pool doesn't count as water, then it doesn't count. Okay. I think we covered what we needed to cover. Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You never know what people look at. People in the traditional media space, and the Griots TV channel is still pretty traditional. They don't care about the same things that people in a non-traditional media care about. So I don't know if anything would have mattered to them. You know what I mean? For them to put the replay up. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Yeah, I don't know. You never know. You never know. Miss Callie recommends Lake Tahoe. KS says Puerto Vallarta had 90-degree weather, and that feels like 100. Yeah, because it's humid. It's not humid here. It's so dry. You don't sweat. I was outside. I go outside with the dog. Now, we only go out for short stretches of time. But I go outside with the dog when it's 103. right? Because she has to play tetherball. She's so high energy that she has to work out during the day. So if we go out, she'll play tetherball for a while. You don't sweat. I don't sweat here, and I sweat. I don't sweat here. I'm really enjoying myself in this desert. I'm finding out that I'm a desert girl. I'm finding that out. Uh, cachate, girl, cachate. I'm gonna say it 4 different ways, and one of them hopefully was right. Okay, I'm planning a trip to Pensacola, Florida. Hopefully not too much sarcasm on the beach. Oh, is it that time of year? Yeah, like that's June and July, right? Hope. Good luck. Good luck. F Doctor says pool over the ocean. Yeah, I enjoy a pool. Miss Callie's recommending Santa Cruz. Okay, we have some recommendations trickling in. I'd like to get to the Hamptons. I'm going home in August, and I'd like to get to the Hamptons, but I don't think it's going to happen. I haven't seen any house sits pop up. I think August is not a time when people are looking for house sitters in the Hamptons. I think August is a time when they're in the Hamptons, staying there on their own vacation. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to discuss with y'all today. Take a break. What will you do on your break? Nothing. Oh, you'll listen to your brain. That's what we're doing. Okay, one more thing. Also, peel away responsibilities. The second thing I think that you can do during your break is peel away some other responsibilities. Once you take time and you take out some things from your life, you start to see other things you can take out of your life. Like an onion, you start to peel away the layers. So once you say, oh, I can actually take time and not work, what other things can you drop? That's a thing that you can focus on during your break. Rest, listening to your thoughts, and then finding other things that you can remove from your life. We're always adding and adding and adding and adding and adding and never subtracting. So find some other things that you can take away from yourself. Find some other things you can peel away. Okay? So the things that I peeled away from myself that I found out I wanted to get rid of during my break are going to seem really superficial and inconsequential, but they made a difference to me, right? So doing my hair is a thing that I got rid of at some point. Once I realized that I didn't need to do my hair, I just quit doing my hair. I'll do it every now and then. And right, I get some compliments every now and then. I'll do something to my hair. But I peeled away the needing my hair to look a certain way. We've talked a lot about hair over here and how hair was the boss of me for a while. And hair is the boss of Black women, right? When we want to do something, the first thing that we have to consider is our hair, right? We want to move abroad. We want to just take a quick vacation. We want to do whatever. First thing we think about is our hair. So that is the thing that I peeled away a while ago, right? Yeah, I peeled away some other things, some other things that used to be kind of important to me, or I used to live like they were important to me because people told me they were important to me. I peeled some of those things away. I'm gonna say it, like going to church. Okay, I peeled some things away. I realized that I didn't want to, and I could have a relationship without going to church. This is me, okay? More unsubscribes are about to happen. About to get more unsubscribes. I peeled away going to church. I had already stopped going, but I used to feel kind of bad about it. Which I used to think I'll say this. I used to think I should feel bad about it. But now I don't feel no ways. I feel no ways. Anything else I peeled away? Some other things. I peeled away. I peeled away some. That's all. That's all I want to talk about. Yeah, some things that are current responsibilities or are current burdens. Some things you can just like peel away. I'm gonna take this leaf off. Pluck this little thing off this plant or whatever. Peel it like an onion. Pluck it like a flour, whatever. That's another thing that you can do. Okay, if you're so convinced that you have to do something during your career break, that's another thing that you can do. Peel away some layers, peel away some responsibilities, peel away some work, other work. Peel away some other work that you're doing, that invisible, stressful labor that you're doing. Yeah, those are three things that you can do. If you're afraid you're going to be bored, do those three things, okay? And peel away some people. We out says peel away some people too. Okay? Peel away some people, some relationships. Okay? That's what you can do. And then you can after all of that, then maybe just pick up a hobby that you have dropped a long time ago, whether it's a hobby you dropped 3 years ago or 30 years ago, right? That you can pick up a hobby that you dropped. I think you need to do what happens sometimes is people pick up a hobby too soon, or and they have not yet settled into doing less and have not settled into relaxation and rest, and they get competitive in the hobby. I was really worried about that for my mom when she retired because she liked watching golf. And so when she retired, she decided she was going to do golfing. She liked putting, and she was going to do some golf stuff. And I was really worried that she was going to get into golf super competitively and in a stressful way. But she didn't. She was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." And she can be competitive. She's an Aries. She can be very like on 100. My Connie Perry can go to 100 on things. But with golf, she was like, "Oh no, I do it when I want." And then eventually she dropped it. Now she paints. She made a quilt not too long ago, right? Picking up some things without going to level 10 on the thing. If you can't pick up some things without going to level 10 on it, don't pick up anything new yet. Do the other steps first. Do the other steps first, and then pick up a hobby, right? That's why I stopped. I used to talk about take a break and write a book because a lot of people want to write a book, and a lot of people have a book in them, and I love books, okay? And so a lot of people, but people go into it so aggressively and so stressfully and so, I'm like, no, girl, you're doing it wrong. Relax. But you don't know. Everyone doesn't know how to relax yet. I forgot that, right? Not everyone knows how to relax yet. What we know how to do is operate on 10 or 12, right? So you have to take some time and learn how to operate on level 4. I'm a 4 girl. I love a 4. It's not even half, not even a half effort. I love operating on level 4. You still make progress, right? If you're doing a 10 and then a 0, 0, 0 because you're tired, and then a 10 and then a 0, right? You're making less progress than somebody who's just like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Seriously, 4s add up. So serious about that, right? If you're 10 and then you're tired and you need 2 months of 0, and then you're 10 and then, right? You're making less progress than the 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 woman. I like 4, less than half effort. Okay? My landlord is a pickleball queen in her 80s. Yeah, they're really competitive. The man I house sat for just the last couple, he had pickleball trophies in his garage. They retired from Connecticut, and he had trophies in his garage. I was like, I don't even know. And then his friends came and picked me up. Their friends came and picked me up for dinner and said something, and I was like, can y'all help me with something? What is pickleball? What is pickleball? I don't even know what this is. It has stormed the nation. They had to explain it to me. It sounds like he said it was tennis, but with a big ball, kind of like, yeah, that's how he described it. Tennis, but with a really big ball. Angie Green Hicks. That sounds so wonderful. I can't even get to a 7 on the weekends. I'm on 10 all week, maybe 8 on the weekends. Good for you. I think I would like 4. I think, seriously, I think prolonged free time, prolonged, a career break, a sabbatical can really help you with this, can really help you learn how to really shift gears. I think so. I'm not talking about a sabbatical because, you know, it was okay. I'm talking about a sabbatical because it was life-changing for me and my homegirls. I'm talking about a sabbatical because it is the thing. It's the answer. I hope, Angie, I hope you can take some significant time when you ain't got nothing to do. I hope so. I know, right? I've seen this in action. I've seen it in action. The sabbatical is the solution. Extended period of time. It's going to take you some effort. It might take a therapist for you to get down to being good with fours. Okay? But it's there. It's there for you. And you can do it. You can get there. You can get there. It's sweeping the nation. I hear about it all the time. I'm like, what is it? I felt like I was safe with them people. The couple, the two men, the couple came and picked me up. And I felt like I was in a safe space to confess to them that I don't know what pickleball is. And they were like, don't worry, we'll tell you. We'll tell you. Another retirement on the horizon. Hi, Renee. Renee Harrison says working on letting go of toxic people and retiring in March of 2025 from the job that is becoming toxic. Good vibes. All right, Renee. Okay, so you use the word toxic, not stressful or whatever. Toxic is poisonous to me. So let's speed this up. Like, girl, March 2025 is almost 2 years. If you mean toxic, speed that timeline up. Seriously. I don't know, right? Some way. Maybe go to Anne-Marie's workshop and get you some coins and exit or something. Or just move to a different place, a different job. If you need 2 more years of work, is a different job the solution? You use the word toxic, not just stressful or tiring. Exhausting is also emergency action is required, right? If you're telling me toxic or exhausted or something, emergency action is required. 2 years is not a long time, but it's a long time of poisoning yourself, of being poisoned. Toxins are poisonous, right? That's poison. And then the stress hormones on top of that from having to cope with and live in a toxic environment or go to a toxic job, you're poisoning yourself too. To me, that sounds like a call for immediate action. Hi, Mary. Mary Goff, My Season Life. Mary is retired in Panama. Mary's YouTube channel is about her retired life in Panama. Panama City, which if you went to my live stream on Instagram the other day, you would know that Panama, I think, is a better choice. I've never been to Panama City, Panama, okay? But based on my Googles and my YouTube watching and my interviews of women like Mary, I think Panama is probably a better choice for a lot of people than Costa Rica. Even though I'm moving to Costa Rica, I think Panama is probably a better choice for a lot of people. If you can handle 90-degree heat and humidity, Panama is probably a better option than Costa Rica. I mean that. I talked about it on my Instagram Live. My Instagram is @Vicarious, and I talked about it on my Instagram Live just this week. So if you go there, it's the last thing, the most recent thing. Mary says, I love pickleball. It's really fun, but I don't like to play with competitive people because I don't even want to keep score. Yeah, there's some people who are just naturally competitive, right? My mom and I did a walk, I ran it and she walked it years ago. Years ago, I ran it and she walked it, and it was like a turkey trot. I finished the turkey trot, and then I wait for her. Here she comes across the line, walking. I don't know if it was a 5K or a 10K. Here she come. No, it must have been a 5K. Maybe I may have run 10K. Maybe the walk Maybe it was both. I don't know. Here she comes across the line and she says, I was I was with a group of women, those women back there, but I had to leave them. They weren't in it to win it. I'm like, girl, it's a turkey trot. Okay. She said, I had to pass them. They weren't in it to win it. Okay. There is a natural competitiveness that it's okay. Hold on to be you. Be you. I am naturally a go with the flow person. Be you. I'm not saying change who you are. All right. But so you can recognize when you're in a competitive environment and you don't want to be there. You want to be go with the flow. Sandra says it takes time to unwind, especially if you've been on survival mode in the rat race for years on end. Absolutely. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Take time, right? It took time for that damage to be done. It takes time to heal. Oh, Racina, I'm going to Panama in July to look for a new home. Okay, good. Yeah, I think it's a better choice. Costa Rica is not, especially if you're talking about going into a city or a town. San Jose, Costa Rica is not beautiful like Panama City is. I did a live stream. Go over to Instagram if you want to hear my thoughts on that. Go to Instagram at Vicarious, especially those of you who are here live. It's the most recent one. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful choice. I haven't been there yet. I'll be flying down through there, I think, after the summit. I think that's where I'm going to vacation, Panama City. I think 50-50 chance. Either I'll stay in Costa Rica and just go to a beach in Costa Rica, or I'll go to Panama City and check it out. Relax in a nice hotel for a while after the summit, which is coming up, Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous Peoples Weekend. If you feel guilty from resting and relaxing, you're saying, I feel guilty for being healthy, right? It's like saying, I feel guilty for being healthy, or I feel guilty for eating good food, good, healthy food, healthful foods, right? I feel guilty for going to a doctor, right? You've been programmed. That's programming. You got to reprogram. Seriously, you've got to reprogram, right? Relaxation, rest are as important to our wellness, our well-being, our health, our life, as eating healthful foods. If you feel guilty about these things, you need to reprogram. Toxic is sickening. It's poison. That's poisoning, okay? So I'm just rereading what you wrote, friend, okay? If toxic is the word that you meant, move faster, okay? Get yourself out of there faster, even if it means going to a different place while those 2 years, while you work on that 2-year retirement plan. Aw. Moments of essence. I took this past year to travel and house sit, so it felt like a sabbatical, but I was still working remotely, a low stress job. Yes, yeah. So you don't have to have a boatload of cash to take time off from work and travel and do things in a more relaxed way. You can leave a job and do a more chill job. You can leave a job and do a more chill job. On Instagram, her name is Designing, D-E-S-I-G, Designing Ease on Instagram, okay? At Designing Ease. She, who might be here, Kira, who might be here this morning, hello Kira, left a director level job for an entry level job. Because she needs a little income, need a little money, a little cash and coming in the door. Left a director level job for an entry level job to give herself some ease for a little while, or maybe for good. I don't know, right? And I think she's going somewhere. Do we know where you're going, Kira? I don't remember where she's going, but she's going somewhere. I think she's leaving the country, going to, I'm assuming Mexico. I'm going to assume Mexico. I might look at her story real quick. Let's see. Because she just talked about it. No, I can't find that one.
I'm sorry, but I quit. This was fun. Have a wonderful life. Love you. I'm sorry, but
She just said abroad.
this was fun. Have a wonderful life.
Follow me. What did she say? Follow my journey as I discover and explore new places, cultures, experiences. Okay, so it sounds to me like she's gonna bop. Okay, designing ease. One word, designing ease on Instagram. Yeah, black woman who looks to be in her 30s, so I'm gonna guess she's 55. She looks to be in her 30s. Y'all know how y'all are. Uh, Left her director level job for an entry level job, which it seems like she's able to do remotely. Out here living. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. When you reject things like black excellence, when you reject striving, when you reject having to have a job determine your worth as a person, when you reject that stuff, you free yourself to live your life. And that's what she's doing. I take credit for this and I don't even know. So she tagged me in one post and I've been taking credit for her wins ever since. Okay. I've been taking credit for this ever since. All right. More of this, more of that, more of that. Okay. So if you don't have a stash of cash and you need money to live, okay, can you put yourself in a position where you need a whole lot less money to live? And then you do something that gives you a whole lot less stress, a whole lot less of that stress toxin, stress poison, a whole lot less of that. I think so. I think so. Okay. Auntie Lou says, let go of those fancy titles if they're making you sick. You're valuing the wrong things, friends. You're valuing the job title over your own life. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Yes. Right? Allie Max. Hi, Allie Max. Rest and relaxation will add years to you. Yes, it will, won't it? So yes, you'll get a glow, and people will always be complimenting on, oh, your glow, your skin, your glow, your skin. Okay, but the real thing is, you get a better life. You get a better life. Yes, mature black female podcast. Imagine how even younger black women will look after leaving America, after leaving black excellence, after leaving black girl magic, after leaving a toxic lifestyle. So black girl magic is a thing so black girl magic to some people is what black excellence is to me. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I didn't know until recently that black girl magic was a thing that y'all are over. Alicia Renice, I think, has videos on it. I didn't realize that was a thing that was putting stress on women, right? To be black girl magic. I never heard anybody use it in that term in that way until recently. Y'all are over it. Ditch it. Okay? If you're over it, ditch it. Burn it. Burn it. Yes, lots of interviews about Panama, lots of great information. Mary's channel is My Season Life. We interviewed her on the Exodus Summit channel about Mary's move to Panama, retirement and move to Panama. But on Mary's channel, she's got lots of info. I'm telling you, I think Panama is a better choice for a lot of people. Costa Rica, San Jose, Costa Rica, not a pretty city. If you just want to be surrounded with beauty, right? Find a neighborhood that's just pretty. Find a neighborhood where you can easily get to the beach. Panama City is on the water pretty much, or on the water. I don't think pretty much. I think Panama City is on the water. You want to get to the beach. You want a better cost of life. You want to be around black and brown people. It's a good choice. You want to be able to fly directly into several different cities in the US or fly directly to the Caribbean, which is the real reason that I'm like, that if I change my mind and move to Panama City instead of Costa Rica, instead of San Jose, it'll be because of those direct flights to the Caribbean. I got to fly into Panama or Miami to get to the Caribbean. I want to spend a whole lot of time over the next 3-4 years in the Caribbean. I do, right? And then if you're over 60, Panama, I don't want to sell Panama on you. That's not what this video is about. Watch Mary's channel, okay? I don't want to tell you about it. I don't want to tell you anymore. I don't want to tell you anymore. But yes, okay? Angela R. about to quit, haven't yet. All right. Let's keep making progress. Keep making progress. Okay. Marissa, I left a stressful AVP role to work as a contractor. Best decision! Exclamation point. Right? Your skills can take you far. You don't need the job. Do you need that job? Do you have the skills so that you don't even need that job? Can you take that out on the road yourself? There are solutions out here that Black women are using. And so all of us in this space, talk about these things so that you can be like, oh, I didn't even recognize that that was an option for me, right? I didn't know that what I do now is it was an option for me until I saw other people doing it, right? So that's why these channels exist, and that's why we keep talking over and over and over again. Because somebody's doing something that's going to really turn the light bulb on for you. You're going to be like, here's how I can make this work for me. Not that somebody's going to have the exact answer that you need, but somebody's going to have a piece, a solution that's going to ignite something in you. Tell you, oh, that's something I can do. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pet sit, right? I don't want to take care of people's pets. I don't want to do X, Y, Z, but I can do this, right? So we keep talking. This is why we share each other's channels as well. In this community, we talk about what other creators are doing, what other people are doing, because there's an answer. There is a solution. There is a solution to that problem that you see. The thing that you see as a problem to getting you out the door. There's a solution, right? If you hear enough people talk about what they did, right? If you get enough coaching. Seriously, when we need help, we get help. If you book some time with somebody who does this thing, who solves these problems for people for a living. There are people who solve problems like yours for a living, right? Get a coach or a one-on-one call or something. Get a consultation and hear enough of what other people's experience is, and then take a step. Take some action. There's no solution that involves doing nothing. Take some action. That's the answer. Those are the answers. Those are the answers. Okay? So were we discussing that we should follow? Designing Ease on Instagram. If you want to see a Black woman who has gone from director level to entry level in her job and is now I think she's about to start traveling full time. If you want to see that, she's Designing Ease. All right? I am Vicarious on Instagram. All right? Mary, okay, but that's probably when you asked the question. I was probably talking about Mary. Mary is My Season Life on YouTube, and Instagram, it's a little different. I think your Instagram handle is different. But if you go to subscribe to her YouTube channel, then you'll see the Instagram link, hopefully, in the description of a video. Mary, My Season Life, she's in Panama. Maybe next week we'll spend time and just talk about our individual channels, because I don't have anything planned for next week. And as you can see, 7 a.m. is too early for me to interview people, because who knows how I'm going to show up. I might show up a little grouchy, a little grumpy. I'm still on Pacific time. I'm going to be on Pacific time until the end of July. So I don't think I'm going to be prepared to interview people live until then, until the end of July or August. So in the meantime, maybe next week what we'll do is everyone just come, make sure that you're logged in on your YouTube channel, and we'll talk about your channels. Maybe I'll send out a link and you can jump on and just tell us what your channel is about and what you talk about. I think that's what we'll do next Saturday. I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm gonna forget, okay? And then if you're on my email newsletter, how will I give you the link? I can't put the link on YouTube in the chat because YouTube is public. Because my link doesn't change. So once you get the link, you have the link. And I can't have that out in the public. So I'm going to email the link to the Patreon community And I'll email the link to, I could just send it to everyone on my email list. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll email it to everyone on the part of my email list that is about YouTube coaching, because I assume if you have a YouTube channel. Okay, so here's what you should do. Okay, 10 YouTube tips for coaches is a free resource that I've put together. .com/coaches. Okay, 10 YouTube tips for coaches is a YouTube coaching thing. It's a quick video that I've put together about 10 YouTube tips for coaches. But it's really for YouTube. It's helpful for anyone on YouTube, okay? So what I would do, if you want to be able to jump on screen with me next week for just a couple of minutes and talk about your YouTube channel, just like we had women jump on a couple months ago and give advice, right? Women over 60 jumped on, and for a few minutes at a time, they gave us life advice. I don't know, you might remember that video. It was amazing. So if you want to jump on next week and give a little bit of info about your YouTube channel specifically, get my 10 YouTube tips for coaches download, okay? When you go to this link and you put in your email address, that puts you on my newsletter, okay? So I'm going to send out to people on my newsletter on Friday the link to join this call on Saturday, this live stream on Saturday. Am I making this confusing? I think you get it, okay? So if you get your 10 YouTube tips for coaches, vicarious.com/coaches. I hope I put the link in right, vicarious.com/coaches. And get ready to get on camera tomorrow, next Saturday, starting at 7 Eastern. 7, it'll probably be 2 hours, so you'll have a couple hours. If 7 is too early, just plan to get on 8 or 8:30. Okay? So get on my newsletter email list for the coaching stuff, the YouTube stuff, not the house sitting stuff. I have separate email lists. I have the house sitting email list. I have the coaching email list. So get on the coaching email list by going to vicarious.com/coaches, okay? And then open your email on Friday. Friday, I'll send an email with the link to join this live stream on Saturday. Okay, so Saturday we'll just jump on a couple minutes at a time and tell us about your YouTube channel. Everybody, anybody. Whether if you're already on my Patreon, then you'll get that Patreon link. Patreon community will already get the link. My Patreon community is a community of women who are putting money together every month to send Black women on sabbatical. We already have $5,000, I think, in our account. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with it. Okay, we've already given $25,000 away to one Black woman, Maisha Francis, who it's time for us to talk to, I think. I wanted to give her some time. I didn't want her to feel like, I wanted to give her some time, but I think it's time for us to get her on the channel and interview her. We gave $25,000 to Maisha Francis, 25,000 US dollars, American Earth dollars. We gave money to send Lisa, who was here earlier, on to reclaim the retreat in El Salvador, and we have money to send a woman to the workshop that Anne Marie and Kimani are doing this week. And so we have more money already in the account from the Patreon. So now it's time to figure out what to do with it. Yes. Okay. It's time to figure out who to send it to, what it's for, who it's for. Okay. All right. So that's what we'll do next Saturday. Thank you very much for joining in on this Saturday. Okay. I'm going to close this out by saying, if you cannot imagine what you would do with your free time, if you think you would get bored if you retired today, or if you took a sabbatical for a year, that is the reason for you to take a sabbatical. That is the reason you need free time. Work has bled into other parts of your life in a way that it's not supposed to. And you need to discover who you are apart from work. That is what a sabbatical will do. That is what a career break is for. That is what early retirement does, or a mini retirement. You need it. That is a cry for help. You need it. You are the one who needs it most. If you can't imagine what you would do, you need it most. because there's a whole person being buried underneath the work. Alive, buried alive. There's a whole person buried alive underneath the work that you're doing. You're wasting the gift of life by being just a worker. You were made to be more than a worker. Being a worker is not your purpose. As much as I don't care for the purpose talk, I don't care to talk too much about purpose. I don't know what your purpose is, but I know it's not being a worker. You're losing out on a whole life by focusing on work. The first step to undoing that, to unlearning that, to untethering yourself from work-centric life is take a career break. Take a sabbatical. Take a gap year. Do it. Do it. You have to do it. You got to do it. Do it for you. How long? I don't know. It depends. Take a short one first and then plan for a longer one later. Okay? But you got to do it. You are the one who needs it. You are drowning and you don't even know it. You're drowning in work and responsibilities, and you think that's how life is supposed to be. But you're supposed to live a full life. You're supposed to be able to name some stuff you would do in free time, or you do in free time. You're supposed to be able to name some things. You're supposed to have some interests. If you can't name them, you're drowning. Quit that job. You need a job detox, okay? One last link I'm going to drop to you is the wait list for my book, Job Detox, a workbook for Black women to stop striving and get free. When is Job Detox coming out into the world? I don't know. This is the worst book intro ever. I don't know, okay? Writing a book is hard, and you know I don't like to do a lot of work, okay? So I'm pacing myself. But get on the wait list so you won't miss it, okay? Get on the wait list for Job Detox, a workbook for Black women to stop striving and get free at vicarious.com/job detox, okay? Get on the wait list, and then you'll know. Then you won't miss it, okay? Hope September. Okay, I hope that the book will be in the world in September. At least a version of it, okay? Okay, September. It was supposed to be early. I said early 2023. I'm aware that early 2023 has passed. I have missed the deadline for early 2023, but we're going into mid September is probably still mid July, June, July, August, September. That's still mid September. I mean, mid 2023. So we're going into mid 2023 for this book to be out in the world. Don't miss it. Get on the wait list, vicarious.com/job detox. Okay? Okay, friends. All right. Again, thank you for being here, ChatGPT. So it's written. Okay. So here's the thing about the book. My draft is written. I have an editor who has given me some feedback, but so much more has to be done when you're self-publishing. I need a person to actually do the layout because it's a workbook. There's a lot of space for this and write that, and I need a layout person. I don't know how long that's going to take, but finding them is the thing that's probably going to take it's going to take longer for me to find a person to do the layout of the book than it is for them to actually do the work. I need an actual cover. Because I'm self-publishing through my own publishing company, I need to set up the business entity. I need to set up my publishing company. I'm actually going to need a logo for the publishing company to put on the book. I'm going to need some things. I need a project manager. We talked about this on Instagram the other day as well. I need to I'm out of the writing, not out of the writing phase. I need to revise what I've written. What I've written is there. I need to do some revisions, but what I've written is written, but there's so much more involved. The kind of thing that I'm interested in, I like doing, but just time moves so fast. It's not like I'm into the world of things that I don't like. Like if it was something I didn't like, I'd be like, somebody else published this book. This is stuff that I like to do. It's just time is moving fast. Time is getting away from me. No, D, Pete, please be on my side with this. I think you get 4 months early, 4 months middle, 4 months late. Oh, no. September is the 9th month. Are you serious? Late 2023. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, maybe August 31st. Maybe I can squeeze. If I can squeeze it out by August 31st, that's still mid 2023. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I think I can have a version of it. The layout may not be the. I don't know. We'll see what happens. D, why you gotta tell me stuff like that? Why would you do that? Why'd you do that to me? Oh. Okay. Mid to late 2023. Mid to late 2023. Ain't it? Oh, gosh. I don't know what's happening with time. I don't know when this happened. Okay. Okay, I've dropped all the links that I think that would be helpful for you. If you missed something, I'll put it in the description of this video as soon as we close out, okay? Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being so kind to me and so kind to each other in this chat. Thank you for answering people's questions and being so supportive of one another. We are a fantastic community, and I appreciate you, friend, for being such an important part of the community. Okay? Thank you very much for being here. Again, next Saturday, we'll do a little guest, hop on, hop off guest situation for those of you who have a YouTube channel. All right, I'll see you again real soon, friends. Have a wonderful day. Bye.